welcome to Murphy's Law Garage. On today's video, we fixed the actual oil leak on the 2004 Ford Explorer Sport Trac. We changed the spark plugs, and I'm sure we'll find something else to do. Y'all stick around, we're gonna get this thing torn down. Dang it. Took them long enough. Anyone new to it, this is our 7.3 Power Stroke Swap Bronco. And here's David. Late is on time, right? Ooh, food. We're gonna go eat. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
Oh, I got a brain freeze. Uncle David brought slushies in. Oh, I got a little too excited. Well, David got the negative disconnected on the battery to ground. So, I won't shock myself. Got some good old Fel Pro blue gaskets here. We need to dive into getting a whole bunch of stuff off of on top of this valve cover. I think in the meantime, we're going to pull the intake off because neither of us ever actually checked if there's an air filter in here or a rat's nest or anything else that could have gotten sucked up into the motor. We're going to pull the intake track off and then get started on tearing this down. I'll most likely time lapse and then bring y'all in from time to time to see things. Let's go.
All right, baby. I heard that all you need is an impact and a 10mm, and then everything in here just falls apart.
Well, this is the first thing that needs to come off to get the intake off, so give that a shot.
It's an 8mm.
Cause Ford. Whoever told you that lied. Ford, 8mm because 10mm are for sissies. All right, so we've got the intake track off. Luckily, the air filter looks fantastic and no rats have made a nest in here. Y'all may have noticed that I've got a red broom handle in here, and that is because when you're putting your head and body under a hood that has those hood struts, I don't care how new they are and how well you think they work, do not ever put your body under these things. If I could have found a set of vice grips, it works to put a set of vice grips on the shaft, but if they're good struts, you could damage the shaft, so it's always good to just put some sort of prop rod in here. Now, first thing I noticed when David pulled the intake off here, the throttle body is extremely filthy, and that is not good for metering idle, and it can hurt fuel economy. So since one of the things David is looking to do is to have good fuel economy, we need to clean the throttle body really well, and this is actually a normal maintenance item on a vehicle, so that'll be something else we're doing today. Anyways, we're gonna get back to taking a whole bunch of stuff off of this side of the motor. We'll bring you back. Sorry, Ford fans, but let's talk about some Ford stupid here real quick. Stupid number one, the EGR sensor to make sure that this thing is working just kind of floats here with no bolts in it and does that if you even bump it because it's old and plastic. Thanks, Ford. The fuel line that comes from the frame and up to the fuel rail passes right over the top of the valve cover and is clipped in right here. Well, right here down on the side of the head by the exhaust ports, it is attached to the head. I can't see how. I have no clue. I don't know yet whether or not the valve cover can get out from under this. But basically, if it doesn't, I have two choices. Figure out how to get that off of there to make myself more room, or unbolt the fuel rail right here where it connects and dump fuel all over the place. Good job, Ford. Here's the last stupid. Coil pack. It doesn't need to be attached as if it's holding suspension up, right? You've got two bolts up here, this one and that one. That would probably be sufficient. Instead, Ford says, oh, no, no, no. We're going to use this bolt, including a manifold bolt, to hold the bracket that holds a frickin' coil pack. Wow, Ford. David and I are going to yell and curse at this for probably the next 30 minutes, and we'll bring you back.
I don't curse.
I'm going to have you come do this, and we'll see how true that is. We'll be back. All right, Uncle David, think it's going to come out of there?
I would hope so.
Would you look at this? Look at this.
It's pretty substantial.
Bro, hold that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 20 pounds. Ford, what were you thinking? Why is this holding a coil pack up? Look how thick this is. This thing weighs 20 pounds. Man, that's just silly.
It's pretty silly.
Welcome to part 2 or 3 or whatever of Let's Talk About This. So we got the coil pack out the way, right? Here is a valve cover breather, and there's a hose right here, and there's a hose right there, and there's a piece of aluminum pipe. Well, those two connect to each other, and if you do this, the freaking aluminum pipe makes a loop around the breather and goes back the other direction. What is this, Ford? All right, so, whoop. Go ahead, David. Fuel rail line's got to come off. We've prepared for the fuel we're gonna spill as best we can. While David's working on making a mess, we got the breather hose off back here, which does just pop off. But this silliness that wraps around it is actually going to heater hose. Apparently it warms the air charge coming from the vent. Very curious.
Because Canada.
Probably for someplace cold, not our problem. It might go back, who knows. Did you make a mess yet?
Doesn't appear so.
Let's see. Ooh. Hey, fuel all over everything. Let's walk out of here for a little while. Be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if it'll get out of here. This is gonna be fun. Maybe. All right, we're already hung up on an injector. And now the fuel rail. We've gotten past that. And we
Windshield wiper motor.
So those two hoses I thought would be in the way over here, definitely in the way.
Looks real oily under there.
It is disgusting. And this whole time I'm trying not to shake this too much. Even though I wiped it down, there's still a bunch of junk on it.
Ah, a little sand never hurt nothing.
I think we're gonna need to bend some EGR pipes back. Y'all hold on a minute, who needs EGR anyways? All right, after much finagling, should be able to slide this out of here. Yes, pound it. Boom.
Got my hands dirty.
All right, y'all, let's look at how disgusting this is. That's fine.
Should there be a gasket there?
It's on the valve cover. It's actually pretty clean in here. Not the cleanest I've ever seen before. It's very obviously been leaking oil. You can see how dirty it is all along the bottom right here. That seal wasn't sealing. The good news is if you look in here at the timing chain tensioner, at least this one up top, it is very proud. There isn't a bunch of wear in it. See how it's sitting up on the chain like that? This motor might have had a timing job. Interesting. All right, David's off to go get a new set of spark plug wires because when I went to pull this boot off to replace the plugs, it disassembled itself. Now, I'm sure someone's gonna say, well, why don't you just stick that back in there and call it good? These are original, and we ain't about it. We're just gonna put a new set of spark plug wires on it. Anyways, I'm sure you'll see on the time lapse, the valve cover is resealed. It's back in there. I'm going to put a few things back on here and possibly get the spark plugs out and ready for when David gets here. And then we'll keep on going to the other side. All right. So this side is finally together. I'm a dirty, dirty boy. We got some brand new plug wires in here because the old boots broke, of course. And we've got some weather strip adhesive holding that broken nipple on that sensor on. That's our Hail Mary not to replace it. It might be a $10 sensor, but it's EGR, so who gives a care? All right, let's move on to this side. I'm only slightly concerned about the amount of coolant hoses that are up against this thing. Let's see if we can get it out of here without spilling coolant. All right, y'all, so bad things happened. Here we are about an hour later. We went to pop the spark plug boots off on this side so we could just get the spark plug wires out of our way. And the one all the way in the back got stuck. And then we pulled until it ripped. And then we've pecked at it until it's ripped off some more. And now we've got the metal bit exposed that grabs the spark plug wire. And David is trying his darndest to grab a hold of it and pop it off, because the only other option we can see at this point to gain access is going to be to pull the evap core out of the truck and out of the way so we can get direct access onto it to force it off. We'll bring you back. All right, I think that's it. David cut with a razor, I cut with a razor. I made this goofy looking tool out of an old screwdriver. I feel like we're on our last few threads. When engineers build these things, they really could give two cares less about the people who have to work on them. I think it's it.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. Stupid pile of garbage.
And it stayed on there too.
That's astonishing. Probably left a hole in the wall.
That's a good sized nick in it.
We love you guys, and normally I don't do two-parters for things like this, but that's a wrap. Uncle David and I have, bless you, have families to go deal with. I'm going to stick a spark plug back in that hole so it doesn't decide to rust up, and that's a wrap. If we both look horrible right now, it's because it was horrible. Have mercy on our souls. That spark plug is the bane of my existence. You can't perceive unless you've done one on these. That spark plug faces the evap core, and it is right there. And of course, if a boot was going to get helplessly stuck on one, it was going to be that one. I was minutes away from pulling the evap core out of this truck. It's like, screw it. Just, we're going to dump all the Freon, rip all of that crap out so we can get to it. But a whole bunch of tore up arms, and how's yours look, David? I'm sure yours is even redder. Whole bunch of tore up arms, rubbing, like literally taking a razor blade. They're all on the ground now because I threw it down there. Literally taking a razor blade and shaving on that boot until it decided it wanted to let go. Fingertips with razor blades. Fingertips like this with razor blades. It was horrible.
Let's do it again.
No, I will burn this thing to the ground before that happens again. Or it's going to get a Terminator 4 valve. Ooh. Anyways, we really appreciate y'all coming along with us. We love y'all. Y'all visit murphyslawgarage.com. Go get signed up on the forums. Hit us up on Facebook. Go ahead, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon, all of that fun stuff. We love you. Peace.
Go Tigers.
Too big for this. Oh, hey, look. Ah! David showed up.